I'm Alice the Great. I'm over 9,000. Over 9,000. I'm over 9,000. Over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin'. You wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000. Over 9,000. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think no other artist better than me. Whoa, who gon' really get anything better than me? And I don't even care if you think it ain't true. My confidence so high, I swear it's bursting through the roof. Why should I care about what others have to say? Wait, I'm electrifying, so I feel like Sasuke. These rappers have forgotten the goal is to be legendary. Yet they talk about the guns, intimidation, trying to be scary, huh? It's the great. This wasn't a joke, but y'all don't get it. To the people who wanna be remembered, I am with it. My specialty is painting big pictures that are vivid. I don't rap about a false life, I spit it, how I live it. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin', you wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah. Yeah. Your criticism, I am lyricism. I hope random people don't be like I was here with them. Outta here, because you weren't. My crew remains the same, and that's current.
Hello everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and it is a nice, 80-degree Sunday here in Riverside, or Moreno Valley rather. I'm in Riverside, Moreno Valley, California, and so...
We're right on the border.
Yeah, right. Same difference, right? So anyway, I will wait for everybody to get on. I want to say hello to everybody. Hello to those on YouTube. Hello to those on Facebook Live. Hello to those on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. We are everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Everywhere and nowhere.
Right. No excuse no excuse not to be awoke.
Right. So we are everywhere. And as always, I'd like to say a big, giant thank you to my partner in crime, Donovan. His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid, Sadiq.
Right.
We, as you guys noticed, we changed his name from throwing rocks and hiding his hand. We gave him a more fierce name, if you will. Also, a big thank you to Marcus Guyton for all that he does in spreading the message so that more people can get it. And to you, Facebook Live, because without you guys being here, it is hard to carry this dialogue. Like me and Donovan, we could talk a lot, but we need you guys to kind of do the conversation with us. And so anyway, I give you guys a couple of more minutes to get on, and then we'll go ahead and get into the topic of black people shouldn't cape for Kamala. So
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Next week is Super Bowl. What are you going to be doing for that?
Super Bowl, what's that?
Okay.
I get why you asking me, because we're going to see how many people are patronizing the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We see the numbers. Well, I mean, you watch football.
Yeah, but I can, I got YouTube. I got YouTube, so I can get the clips and the highlights later. That's why it didn't really affect me this year.
Okay, well, I mean, listen. If you want to be here next week, we'll be here next week.
I'm here next week. Look,
I don't watch the Super Bowl.
Look, we can't be talking about being awoke and stuff, and we ain't walking like we talk.
Right, because I don't watch football, so I'm going to be here next week, you guys. So anyway, all right, so let's get into it. And hello to everybody. And I promise to read everybody's comments, because that's what we do here. We read everybody's comments so that we can get some good, healthy dialogue here. And so Arson says, hey, how are you guys? I finally have an Android now, so I'm on time. Yes, well, what did you have before? You have you have the dial phone? And Paul says, how are you guys? Oh, no, oops. No, that was Arson, I'm sorry. And then Paul says, hello, Demetra.
Yes.
Hello to you as well. So anyway, let's get into it. So the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote black love, knowledge, and understanding of all the things that go on in the black community to make us an even better people. And so, let me put this up a little bit. There we go. I think that's much better. So, today's topic is black people shouldn't cape for Kamala. So a lot of people probably wonder, well, what does it mean to cape? Like, why does people keep saying don't cape? What's a cape? Cape is, think about Superman. When Superman puts on his cape, he's going to save somebody, or he's going to go save the world, or whatever the case is. So that means you're going to save, or you are pulling for them, you're rooting for them. So that's what it means as far as caping goes. For lack of better words, defending him. So that's what caping means, especially in this sense. Okay, and so I'm going to start it off like this, because I know we keep hearing a lot about Kamala, and just for you guys who don't know, Kamala has thrown her hat into the ring to become president of the United States in 2020. She wants to become the Democratic nominee. So she announced was a couple days ago, about a week ago,
at Howard University,
her alumni,
and she's also a Greek.
Yeah, she's a soror,
mm-hmm.
and then I guess she announced today in California, which I didn't see that announcement.
She announced this morning, California.
She announced, but she originally announced on Martin Luther King's birthday at Howard University.
What a coincidence!
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so let me get into it. Okay. Once upon a time in 1983, oops, I didn't have my microphone on. 1 second, you guys. Sorry.
That's what happens when you.
This is like, I don't know. Maybe I have a phobia of the microphone. Okay, so once upon a time in 1983, the Ryan family, along with a neighbor boy who spent the night with the family, was brutally murdered while they were sleeping in their Chino Hills home. Okay, the murders notoriously became known as the Chino Hills murder. Oops. Now, the word of the murders captivated the local news and terrified the people of the Inland Empire, which is where we are here in the Inland Empire. Because the police had led people to believe that an escaped inmate by the name of Kevin Cooper, a black man, was responsible for the murders. Okay? In fact, people were warned to be very cautious and to be on the lookout for him because he was very dangerous. Now, when I say dangerous, the family was butchered with knives and machetes, you know, some of them decapitated. So it was very brutal, okay? So people were warned to be on the lookout for him. Now, I remember not being able to play outside after dark during this time because he might be lurking around. Like, people were, like, terrified to be outside. Okay, and so during the 7 weeks that Kevin Cooper was on the run, a case in regards to him being the murderer was being made by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and the district attorney. Okay, now pinning him for the murder was easy to do because he had a very sordid criminal background that included rape and burglary. So I just want to say, it wasn't like he was some saint. He had his issues too. He came from, I think it was Pennsylvania or something, and he ended up here, up out here in Chino for a burglary or something. Okay. So, while on the run in Mexico, he was accused of raping a woman in Mexico. And that's how he ended up getting caught while he was on the run. So, once he was caught, he was charged with the murders based on evidence. And notice how I said evidence in quotations, okay? Now, but it turns out the evidence was not genuine because it had been tampered with by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, okay? It was just a whole host of mess. You guys can go research it, okay? Also, the only surviving witness testified that 3 white men were responsible for the murders. However, due to racial injustices and police tampering, all of those things and many more exonerating factors were swept under the rug. Hence, he was found guilty and sentenced to death by lethal injection by the state of California. Once Kevin Cooper had exhausted all of his appeals, he was given a date to die. On February 10th, 2004, Kevin Cooper was 3 hours and 42 minutes away from being put to death. It was stopped because a dissenting judge was able to assemble enough judges to agree to allow him to get advanced DNA testing, okay? Now, moving forward to 2014, when Kamala Harris was the California's Attorney General, when she got elected and all that, she was presented with Kevin Cooper's case and a plea for advanced DNA testing. Because back then, in 1983, and really kind of up until, what, 10, 15 years ago or so, the DNA testing was kind of like,
Yeah, still in its infancy.
It was in its infancy, so this advanced DNA testing will pretty much rule out whether he was there or not, if he, you know, was the killer. But a lot of evidence, even the one, as I said, the surviving witnesses was like, or victims, like, it wasn't him. It was 3 white guys who did this. Okay, so she was presented with Kevin Cooper's case and his plea for advanced DNA testing. She refused him a chance to clear his name and showed no interest after that. Okay, she was just like, yeah, whatever. Until May of 2018, so last year, she changed her mind. Okay, in addition to Governor Jerry Brown and Dianne Feinstein agreeing to grant him a shot at an advanced DNA testing, Harris also agreed while expressing regret in refusing to help him in the past. Okay, now, black people disproportionately make up the most inmates on death row in California and in the nation. Black people are at 41.38%, or 38%, and white people are at 42.03. So not that much, okay? California has 267 black inmates on death row and 245 white inmates on death row. Now, I say all of that to say, if Kamala was truly for black people, the way some of us are claiming she is, why would she ignore the plea of an innocent black man? You know, because I wanted to like really highlight that story because there's a bunch of stories, but I remember Kevin Cooper, and I remember, you know, him being, for lack of better words, framed for the murder. Now, just to give a little bit more context to his story, while he was on the run, he was it was said that he was hiding out in the neighborhood in like one of the vacant houses, and so that's kind of how they like pinned him for the murder, even though none of the DNA at the scene and all that matched him at all. It was said that the sheriff's department like took some of his blood and kind of mixed it in with some other blood.
Oh, an OJ thing?
Yeah, like an OJ type of thing. Okay. You know, all right.
The DA, the policeman's got the blood vial in his pocket and he's walking to the other crime scene.
Right, all of that. So basically, you know, and so Kevin now has been granted a chance to clear his name by advanced DNA testing. He was granted that last month. I think it was December. So,
yeah, I remember that.
So now we're going to wait and see if Kevin is really the murderer or not. And it's speculated, it was not speculated, there's a lot of evidence saying that he's not. But remember, Kamala was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to change it. She had the power to, mind you. Okay. Now, Kamala Harris was tough on black parents. While Kamala was a district attorney for the state of San Francisco, she imposed a truancy law that mandated a $2,000 fine and jail time for parents, parents whose children were habitually absent from school. Okay, $2,000 fine, and if they couldn't pay that, they were going to jail. Okay, now the truancy law affected mostly poor black mothers, causing them to miss work, be separated from their children, and go deeper into debt because they could not afford to pay the hefty fine. During her inaugural speech for the Attorney General of California, she proudly said, and this is a quote, you guys, "We are putting parents on notice. If you fail in your responsibility to your kids, we are going to work to make sure you face the full force and consequences of the law." Now, she's talking to parents, which I'm not saying kids should, you know, get away with not going to school, but, I mean, come on. All right. Now, you might all remember seeing Miss Harris rallying on behalf of illegal immigrants that were being separated and kept in cages, right? Y'all remember that last year when the kids were kept in cages, the DACA,
and still currently.
All of that other stuff. Okay, so why was she so concerned about the immigrants being separated and not black mothers being separated from their children? Because when a black mom goes to jail, she's separated from her kids, right?
Yeah, and what's the fastest growing group of people going to jail? Black women.
Right, black women. So you're advocating that black women go to jail because their kids are skipping school and imposing a $2,000 fine? Okay, but check this out. All right, so as beautifully pointed out by Charlie Peach from Medium.com, when Harris had the opportunity to prosecute Steve Mnuchin of One West Bank for corruption around the unscrupulous foreclosures of over 80,000 homeowners in California, she refused to do so.
And by the way, Steve Mnuchin is currently in the Trump administration as a Secretary of, I think, Commerce or something.
Well, go figure.
Yeah, he's in the administration right now.
Right, so, okay. So check this out. While she never gave an explanation as to why she refused to prosecute him, it was discovered that Harris received a $2,000 donation for her campaign from Mnuchin. It should also be noted that she was the only Democratic candidate to receive a donation from him. Now, mind you, she let him off the hook for screwing over 80,000 people. And they said some
illegal
people...
foreclosures.
Illegal foreclosures.
Right.
They said, like, some people were behind 27 cents.
Right.
Like, stupid stuff.
And he foreclosed on them
Yeah,
anyway.
he foreclosed on people for 27 cents, you guys. And she let him go. She, like... As long as you give me my money,
no
I'm
harm,
good.
no foul.
No, nothing to this dude.
And she was the only Democrat
he
gave money to.
Okay, so here's a couple other things. You should also know that when she became DA of San Francisco, the felony conviction rate for drug dealers rose from 52% to 74% in 3 years. Just 3 years, okay? Now, Kamala was not for reforming the three strikes law either. In fact, she urged voters to reject Proposition 66 that would reform the three strikes law that would only apply to those who had committed more serious felonies. So out here in California, The three strikes law was very egregious. If you stole a piece of pizza, like literally, there were people in prison for stealing a piece of pizza on their third strike. 25 years to life.
Locked down.
So Proposition 66 would, if they were to reverse it, would mean that, okay, only people, because originally it was intended for people who were raping. Violent offenders to stay in there, like, okay, that's it, you're done. But this ended up to people like low-level stuff, you know. So, but she didn't want to, and in fact, she said this, okay? She says, Kamala said that if the voters rejected the initiative, she would create a different form of it. Because she was like, you guys don't, you know, don't go with this. We need this to stay the way it is, okay? Now, she also argued against releasing nonviolent inmates early because California would lose an important labor pool.
That's right.
She didn't want to release people who were nonviolent because she needed the work labor from prison.
Right, the corporations that are benefiting from the work release.
So she was cool with leaving in, you know, people who were doing stupid stuff in prison forever. In 2015, Kamala was against body cams for police officers, but she arrested the protesters that were protesting her stance on not having body cams. So there were people outside of her office protesting, saying, yo, you need to go along with this, and she had them arrested. Okay.
She sounds a lot like a Republican to me.
Right.
You know, a conservative.
And so one of her biggest donors is that of the police department and police unions. They continuously, like, give money to her campaigns, okay? She continuously turned a blind eye to law enforcement and misconduct in regards to asset seizures of properties. It is said that law enforcement officers got to keep millions and millions of dollars of properties that did not belong to them and from people who weren't even charged of anything. So if they're seizing your property, you know, she's just like, whatever, just keep
it doesn't concern me, right?
Doesn't concern me. I know these people didn't do it, but yeah, go ahead and take their property, you know. So she was cool with that. And it sounds like, too, she was even in favor of making it a law that there's, like, nothing you could do about it. Okay, and then and I'm wrapping this up here, you guys, because I know you guys got a lot of comments. Okay, and in 2010, she was caught withholding information about a police laboratory technician who had been accused of intentionally sabotaging her work and stealing drugs from the lab. Yeah. In fact, she was admonished by a judge saying, yo, you're covering this up. Yeah. What's going on here? So she, like, got busted doing that, okay?
Red-handed.
Red-handed. Now, this last story here, and I promise you guys, I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I personally know of a black woman. In fact, she was one, and I'm not going to say her name, but I personally know her. Donovan's met her as well. But she was one of the first oral surgeons out here in California, black oral surgeons. Now, a man died in her care. What had happened was, after she did an oral surgery on him, he died. He didn't disclose to her all of the medications he was taking, and so the medication had an adverse effect with the anesthesia that she gave him. Okay, so what does that have to do with Kamala? Kamala signed off on restricting her license. Kamala Harris signed off on restricting this doctor's license without even knowing all of the facts, taking her income down from $500,000 a year to roughly $100 and something, because she has that restriction on her license.
Right.
And so, again, we keep saying, well, Kamala's for black people. We need to stick together.
Where?
Like,
show me where.
And this is not everything, you guys. Like, we could go on forever. But these are the things that I know of and personally know people who have been adversely affected by Kamala Harris. So let's see, what else do I have here? But last but not least, stop saying that she's better than Trump. You know, because you keep hearing people saying, she's better than Trump.
How?
She is not better than Trump. If anything, she is the same because her politics are more on the right than they are the left. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing. Yes, she's rallying for immigration, but she's screwing over, like, black people here.
Well, she ain't screwing us over. She's doing absolutely nothing.
Well, she's implementing policies that are harmful to black people. Right. Okay, and so let's see. And we found out the hard way what it means to just vote for somebody because they're black. I'm guilty too. And I'm speaking of Barack Obama. We all, for the most part, he's black. You know, how exciting to have a first black president. Right. So I think we're all pretty much guilty of that.
Yeah, but we're all also a part of history that made that happen.
Yeah, so you know, okay, so we give you one, right? Okay. And so she is not progressive. She is status quo. old establishment. Essentially, she is a part of the problem, especially when it comes to black people. Listen, it ain't even just black people who have a problem with it. It's a lot of other people that have a problem with her as well. So, but we're just the most affected by Kamala. So what are your thoughts about Kamala Harris's bid for the presidency of the United States? And what qualities should a candidate possess in order for us to give them our vote? And so thank you guys so much for bearing with me. But I really wanted to make sure I got those things across because a lot of people really just don't know what Kamala has been up to. All right, so I'll get to everyone in comment, okay? And so you said, Arson, I hope you had time to see in my inbox. I wonder what you think about it. I did not. I was running around in a million circles. So I will check it out. But if you want to tell me about it here, that'd be awesome, too. And Al says, nice dude, Kamala had a rally in Oakland today. Yeah, that's what, thank you. And that's what Donovan was saying. I guess she formally announced out here in California after she made the Chitlin circuit, you know?
No, well, that's kind of smart of her because those people don't really know, so they're going to be all ginned up.
Well, which a lot of people were ginned up about her. I mean, I got into a lot of heated discussions with people who basically said that I'm a crab.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm a crab in a bucket because and black people never stick together. I'm like, some things we don't need to stick together on, you know? And then Al said, what picture is that on your shirt? It's a picture of a snake. It's kind of jacked up, kind of old and rugged. It says Weekend Warrior. And let's see. So hello to everybody that's on here. And then Mike, hey, he says, thanks for this info. Yeah, I mean, it's just, we need to know these things because a lot of us just don't. We just, you know, cover our eyes and then we just go into the booth because everybody's so excited about Kamala, vote for Kamala, vote for Kamala. But it's like, why?
Skin folks ain't.
And, right. But I've also asked people that give me pushback. I said, okay, well, name me something that you like about Kamala. And listen, I think we should also make the difference. It's not that we're talking bad about Kamala because, listen, I don't want to get into who she was sleeping with and all that because I've heard all the rumors and, you know, if that's what
some of that's not rumor.
Well, it's not rumors, but if that's what she needed to do to get where she is.
I mean, wait. Why is it that when a woman does it, a man does it all the time, but when a woman does it, it's unacceptable? Think about that.
But I think we need to separate Kamala from her politics, if that's possible, you know? So, because a lot of people are like, I ain't just being mean. No, we're pointing out her indiscrepancies.
We want you to have all the information.
Right. Hey, Alex. Hey, Charles. He said, get her, D. Ain't nobody voting for no damn sellout Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, or Elizabeth Warren. Kamala is Hillary in blackface. Yes.
And Hillary lost.
Yeah, and then Donovan made a good point, too, is that Kamala is playing out of Hillary's playbook.
She met with the donors
the
earlier
same
this
donors,
week. All that stuff.
Just, what are we going to say? I'm with her?
Yeah. Ron says, hi, Demetra. Kamala was on The View Monday. She hinted then.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Well, Ron, I don't have TV, so I just get the sound bites. But yeah, I mean, I think Kamala has been hinting for a long time, which is why she switched. Because even with the body cams, and did I read the body cams? So even with the body cams, up until, last year? Or so, or right when she became a senator. So about 2 years ago when she became a senator, she was against body cams. Like why did they even implement body cams? Because more than not, black people were getting gunned down, you know, in cold blood by police officers. And so the body cams was to really protect the police officers and improve what they're saying and protect us. And she didn't want that. Right,
because it was come to find out in a lot, especially here in California and some other states that have a big population of black people, what was on the police report was not the same as what the video showed.
I mean, even like with Los Angeles, the rap part division, they went down in smoke behind all that corruption and stuff. And so, but it's also not a secret that Kamala gets a lot of her donations from police departments and police unions. Like, they are one of her biggest supporters. And so, of course, she's not going to go against, you know, the person that's paying her bills. I mean, why would she do it?
A young lady named Katina, my sister-in-law, she says, wow, I did not know. I heard she was a trip. You're right. You cannot just go with someone because they're black.
Yeah, or we can't go with people because of the sound bites. Because and you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen Ricky Smiley, who was the big-time radio host, and he's a comedian and stuff. Ricky got on his social media and said, we need to stand behind her because she's a Greek.
That's right.
And he's a Greek. And she's a soror, and we need to stick together. So he says, Greeks, my fellow Greeks, unite so we can get her elected.
And don't get me wrong, we're not saying that because you're in a sorority or you're a Greek person, they do a lot of great things in the communities that they So
but tell us why we need to vote for Kamala.
If you saw the Ricky Smiley thing, he did not say one reason
but
to qualify.
Ricky has a huge audience, so imagine how many people are listening to him.
Yeah.
Just on just on his word alone.
Yeah. Well, you have a huge audience too.
Yeah. And Alex says, thank you, and Donovan for that love. It meant a lot. So he's talking about the music.
The beat,
yes, yes, absolutely. It's our pleasure.
I'm putting the next track on the next video.
That's right. It's our pleasure. And Al says, what again did Obama do about Gaddafi? And so...
Killed him.
Right, he killed him. Him and Hillary killed Gaddafi, making this argument that, you know, he was torturing his people and he was just evil.
But Gaddafi had been doing that for over 40 years.
Right, but I mean... Was it really?
Yeah, I mean...
Was it, I mean, I'm saying, was it... Because I don't know. Was it really torture or was it just the talking points we were getting?
Yeah, that's talking points we were getting. Because think about it. Why would he be voted the chairman of the Organization of African American Unity?
Right.
He did that like 2 or 3 times in over a 40-year span.
Right. And so Gaddafi was murdered by the Obama administration by the say-so of Hillary Clinton, who was the Secretary of State. They built a case against Gaddafi, but for those of you guys who don't know about Muammar Gaddafi, the president of Libya, the ruler of Libya, however you want to say it, he was in the process of disassociating the African nations, diaspora if you will, from using money. He wanted to transition into using gold, plus
tangible.
Yeah, so tangible stuff. He wanted to just get away from European everything. He was reaching out to even black people in America saying, hey, we need to get together. We need to unite. And then the next thing you know,
he did.
Poof, he's gone.
Right.
And so Obama and Hillary destabilized the government in Libya, causing what we have known as modern-day slavery.
And nobody's saying a word
about
that.
That is due to Obama and Hillary. I don't care what nobody says. So that's what happened with Gaddafi. And Charles says she is making billions for the prison industrial complex. Yeah.
She gets a lot of her support.
And she gets a lot of... So follow the money. Follow the money. Who's supporting her? You think she's going to tell them no? Or, well, you know, I think we should, you know, probably overturn this 3 strikes law. Because I know we got people in there for stealing diapers and pizza, but it's not right. Because we know that prisons are what? They're privatized.
Yeah, they're being privatized.
When something is privatized, what does that mean? That means they have investors. It means that you have to guarantee...
And the quality is a lot less.
Yes. Well, yeah, but then you have to guarantee a return on the investment to your investors, and they are promising a 90% occupancy rate in some of these prisons, and so you don't have a 90% occupancy rate if you're letting people go. And to her point that she said, well, there's going to be a large part of the labor force if we let these people out. All right.
And by the Constitution, if you are incarcerated, you are technically a slave.
Right. That's what it says. Okay, and so Charles says, whoever fights for a Green New Deal, whoever don't accept corporate campaign money, federal jobs guaranteed at a living wage of the 99%, we know by now that the corporate Democrats, only fight for their corporate donors and the corporate Republicans for their corporate donors too. Whoever pisses off the oligarchs is who we vote for.
Right. I agree with
Is that going to be Bernie?
Yeah, no, I agree with them, but I'm going to have to disagree because their donors, there isn't like separate donors. They're the exact same donors.
Right. Some of them donate to the same party. It's like, what is the only party there is?
The ruling party.
Which is what? The rich party.
The rich party.
Rich people stick together.
Yeah.
So. Okay. And so Belinda, he says, hey, what's happening? He says, that info I've seen the past week, so she won't get my bonus support. Yeah.
Yes. Wake up.
That info is all over the place, and especially if we like research, there should be no reason why we vote for people simply based off her talking points. And because she looks good and she's smiling. I mean, we've seen her talk about, I saw one snippet of her talking about her favorite rap group was a tribe called Quest, and she says, yeah, check the rhyme. You know what I'm saying, Fife?
Did you see that one where she was dancing?
I did.
Yeah, it's almost the Hillary thing. I got hot sauce in my purse.
Yeah, she says, check the rhyme, Fife. And then Tariq Nasheed actually put it out. He says, does somebody want to tell her that Fife is dead?
Right.
Fife has been gone from us,
R.I.P. Yeah, about 4 years now.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while. He's talking about, you know what I'm saying, Fife? It's like, who is our peoples? And Charles says, Kamala is a whore for the Israel Zionists. Yeah, I've heard some things about her in Israel. I haven't done a whole lot of research, so maybe that's next on my list. But yeah, I have heard some things. Exactly what it is, I'm not really for sure. And then Alex is saying, yes, sir. And then Alex says, it's so cold. How cold is it? So cold that Kamala is running for president not to help black people. You stupid. And the white is saying, are you testing? Testing 1 2 1 2. And he also says, socialism is great. Look at the government shut down. 2 million people affected.
Can I use that? I need to use that on my show. I'm going to use it.
I don't think he would mind, but no, you're absolutely right. And Charles says democratic socialism. Yeah. Yeah, look what happened to all that socialism. It's like okay, so the government is going to open tomorrow for 3 weeks.
Well, it's open right now.
Okay, but yeah, so people get to know this is like, come on back to work. But so that's for 3 weeks. But let's say Trump gets another wild hair up in his...
Oh, he's not going to shut it down again. He can't afford it.
Right. But
let's say he does.
So what if he does it? That's only 3 weeks. So people are going to get a back pay. As your mom pointed out last week, it's going to be taxed at a higher rate because it's more money. What's going to happen?
We'll be back.
I mean, a lot of people probably really didn't think the dude was going to shut it down the last time.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
For all these conservatives that don't believe in big government, when the government shut down, they were one of the main ones hollering and screaming.
Hooping and hollering, yeah. I saw a lot of snippets on CNN. I don't see any more of you guys' comments, which is why we're talking, but I saw a lot of snippets from CNN where a lot of the Trump supporters was like, oh gosh, I feel betrayed.
Well, I didn't know it was going to affect me.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks away from not having any money, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I've got to sell my car, right.
Hold up. This is who you voted for. You walked into the booth and said, MAGA.
Exactly.
MAGA, and you put it, I was like, oh, you didn't think he was going to do it to you because we're friends.
Right. Well, one thing I don't understand is if the wall was such a priority to President Trump, he got that tax cut through for the rich. He made sure that was done.
Right.
Why didn't he get that? Shouldn't that have been at least number 2 behind the tax cut? All of a sudden he loses the House, and you still think you're going to get a wall?
You know what? I kind of wonder, too, does he really want the wall, or is it about something else?
No, it's just a soundbite. That was supposed to be a fictitious thing, but guess what? Everybody started believing it. Yeah.
People really held him to it. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. It was cute. It was all fun and games.
It kept him on point to immigration. They're talking about immigration.
It was all fun and games. We're going to build the wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it.
And we're not paying for that fucking wall.
And Dwight says, I will not, it will not be shut down again. It is over. He moves on. Fight Russia probe. Some voted for them. Yeah. I mean, I don't think because a lot of people are taking him to task for being beaten up by a girl.
Right.
And so maybe that's going to get under his skin a little bit, but who knows? And then his daughter-in-law was telling Americans, just suck it up.
Yes.
It's for the betterment of the country. You guys can do it. Just continue to fight on. It's like as you're eating your caviar and lobster.
Let them eat cake.
That's what she might as well really have said that.
Or what's that one guy, not Manisha, but the other guy that's in his cabinet that was like, I don't understand why people aren't going to get loans if it's going to be a bad problem for them.
Okay, let me ask you this, because I don't see any, hey Tammy, I don't see any more comments, okay? You know I ain't got no money. I ain't got no job either.
Right. How you going to get a loan?
Donovan, can you loan me? I need about $10,000.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Here you go.
Let me see your bank statements and,
Sure.
Well, what happened was...
Yeah, and a lot of us don't have fathers that'll give us $468 million.
Right.
In the 70s, and then we blow it, and then he bails us out on a continual basis.
Right. And Dwight says the wall was a lie because of that guy with the white hair. What's the guy with the white hair? Pence?
Yeah, I think it was Pence, yeah.
It was a lie from the pit of hell, but, it was just... People believed him. And he's like, well, I can't let them down.
It was a good PR. And I want you guys that are listening to the Demetria K Show, where is the collusion? You guys keep trying to talk about, this is the number 6 top guy that they just indicted. But there's no collusion. There's no collusion.
Right. Well, I don't think anybody here is on that, okay?
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you not see that?
Right. And let's see. And so Charles says the shutdown should show everyone that if the workers ever organize and shut down America until bold demands are met, during the economics, you said unrig the economic system. Now is the time. Yeah, but I think people are pacified again. And that's another point that I wanted to make, too, about being pacified. Let's see. And Dwight says, let them eat cake.
That's it. That's it. Look,
that was her attitude. Let them eat cake.
But I got to say this, big ups to the Democrats, because I thought they were going to cave as they
usually do.
I
thought they were going to cave too, yeah.
So big ups for them. And, you know, and hopefully they will realize when you stand up to a bully and fight for what is right.
Yeah, because now his own people started blaming him like, okay.
Yeah, this ain't working.
Because me blaming the Democrats ain't putting no food on my table. Okay, we hungry.
And you've explained this to the American people twice, and your poll numbers are still tanking.
Right, so, right. And then Arson says, "Thank you for the heads up about Kamala. I was not aware of who it was. I will be careful." And also, and then Dwight says, "Hakeem Jeffries is the guy, Grand Wizard of the 1600." Yeah. Not Roger Stone and Sam Nunberg.
Yeah, Sam Nunberg. Yeah, he was a person that was brought in.
So this is the thing, okay? I think like when we continue to vote for candidates because they're black or, you know, because I asked somebody last week when they kind of gave me a hard time about it. I asked them, I said, well, what do you like about Kamala that would make you vote for her? And she says, nothing that I can think of. Which I'm sure, at least she was honest, because a lot of people will have the same answer. Well, I don't know. I just think we should vote for her. Like, people legitimately got mad at me. And I'm asking, well, what about her policies would make you want to vote for her?
And they can never tell.
And they couldn't say anything. So my other thing is, too, we don't need to vote in a candidate to rock black people into a further coma.
Yes.
As we say on our other show, we don't need what?
We don't need no NyQuil for Negroes.
NyQuil for Negroes. We don't need to vote no more NyQuil for Negroes.
Keep us dizzy and kind of lethargic.
Yeah, just keep us subdued and just, you know, we don't need that. And this is, listen, you guys, I want to tread lightly when I say this, okay? Donovan, you got my back?
I got your back. I got your back.
I'm going to tread lightly. I don't like Trump at all. So I want to put that out there.
That's a fact. Trust me. She has it on her urinal. She has a picture of Trump.
Yes. Yeah. No, like really, I don't like anything that he does. The only thing I like about Trump, though, so I shouldn't say anything, but the one thing I like about Trump is that he is forcing open the eyes of black people.
Yes.
He is. Because when the shutdown occurs, or had occurred, black people were getting it the most. The government workers are made up of a lot of black people. There's a lot of black people on these social programs. I mean, like, next month, people were not going to eat if they were dependent upon food stamps. So we don't need another person like Kamala to rock us back to sleep, or, you know, Barack Obama. I'm not saying he did.
Or keep the status quo.
Yeah, we need somebody who is going to get in there and wake us up and help us too, because black people need help.
We need help.
Because you hear also people say, well, what do you want Kamala to do that you can't do for yourself? It's like, it's not that she's going to go in there and actually do something. Well, she should try.
Well, can I answer that question real quick? Not to cut you off. Well, what can she do? As you can't do much in this country if you don't have the legislative law behind you.
Right, but I'm saying, but if you getting on a radio station talking about you like Tribe Called Quest and, you know, Beyonce's Lemonade and all, I mean, you should at least, because you're pandering, but at least be genuine in your pandering.
Right, but,
you know?
But also you need legislation to back what you, I mean, I could be outside the jail protesting all day.
Right.
But until the law is changed, which she has the power to
right now
introduce.
Right. And as a senator, she does, but she's not going to do that because now she's on campaign mode, and so she's got to, you know, toe the line and say everything right. But I think she's realized at this point that she screwed up with black people, and so that's why, you know, she started to change her. Like
she's trying to move to the left.
Well, she did a flip-flop, is what she did on a lot of the things that were very harmful to black people. And so now she's on the side of right, if you will.
And then if you guys are paying attention, you get a chance, look at some of the clips on YouTube and some of her press things. When she's talking off-candid, you're going to see her slip off of her talking points. And then, she's like deer in the headlights every time.
Well, she's also said, too, when she's been presented the chance to answer what she is, she says, I'm an American. So...
Yeah, she does not identify as a black woman.
Well, I think she does now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
But if you look at her record, she always...
I'm an American.
Yeah,
she dodges the question.
And then if you look at the census and some of the forms here in California, she always put white.
Really?
Yes.
Ain't that something?
Absolutely.
And then Dwight says Hakeem Jeffries is the guy. Oh, I read that.
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries, yeah.
Charles says they're getting ready to raid Venezuela of their 300 billion barrels of oil reserves and install another puppet regime to American interests. Yeah. Senator, somebody,
Marco Rubio.
Somebody else over here too was very instrumental in saying we need to leave them alone. Stay out of there.
Oh yeah, that wasn't Marco Rubio.
No, as a lady, some new Gabbard or somebody.
Gabbard or something like that.
She's saying stay away from there. Leave them alone.
Yeah. Did you guys realize they have hyperinflation of 2-something million%? Their dollar is worth nothing. I mean, they are like, and they said over 3 million people have left Venezuela since 2014.
Well, guess what's gonna go over there when they leave?
Right.
And then Dwight says, no Democrats resistance, moveon.org, indivisible. So are you saying those are the good organizations, moveon.org and resistance? And you also say Kamala Harris is the best now, strong on crime, black and Asian. So you're saying she is the best now because she's strong on crime, but...
Could you give us some examples?
Yeah, give us some examples of what makes... Because we're talking really in relation to black people. And so what has she done that you like as far as crime-wise?
Because she's locked up a lot of black people in California, yeah, that's for sure.
She's strong on crime.
Regardless of the evidence.
And also know when somebody talks about being tough on crime, what does that mean?
That a key word is I'm locking them black niggas
I'm
up.
tough on your black ass. That's what tough on crime means. I'm gonna be tough on black people because that's a dog whistle, to white people that I'll make sure you're protected from these animalistic black people.
And again, if you look at her record, she was locking up minorities regardless of the evidence.
Right. Exactly.
Regardless.
And even when the evidence she knew was tampered. And Al says, I believe Trump and Kamala are effing just like Bush did with that nappy head black lady. We talking about Condoleezza Rice. You know what? Knock it off.
That's his brown bunny.
And Charles likes NyQuil for Negroes. Yes.
You like that? Yeah.
Use it, you guys.
Yes,
use it. We don't need no more NyQuil for Negroes because we are already godly. We're under a coma.
Yeah.
Dead?
Pretty much. I mean. We are in so much of a coma. It's like that and unfortunately this happened. That lady that was impregnated, she had been in a coma for so many years.
God.
That it happened in Phoenix. That was a nightmare. But almost like that. That's how we are. We are so comatose that they can do anything to us and we wouldn't know what's going on.
And I want to talk about the bone. And let me get to you guys' comments. Don't let me forget about the bone.
The bone.
And so Dwight says, Donald Trump hurts a lot of blacks. 30% public servants are black. No, I'm not saying he don't hurt a lot of blacks, but I think black people need to really see that we don't have any friends in Washington. Like Asians don't depend on...
They don't depend
what are they, y'all? They be one Asian, other than the ones that's in the Senate and stuff. Like Asians you know personally on Facebook and any of that, that's continuously crying about the stuff that goes on in their communities like we do.
Or their food stamps are getting cut.
Yeah.
I don't even know an Asian that even says that kind of stuff.
And if they do, they ain't tricking them off. They like flipping that stuff.
Right.
You know, if you go get some, shrimp fried rice, the food stamps bought that.
Right. But even if they are cut off, they're not hollering because they, like you said, they're doing what they got to do. But I don't know an Asian person that's on the system.
But so the point that I'm making is, Trump has hurt black people. Well, hell, all the presidents have hurt black people.
Every last one of them.
But so we don't need somebody to continue to lie to us and rock us back to sleep even further. I mean, we need to know the truth. That the truth is we only have each other or us. That's all we have is us. That's the truth. Hey, John. And he says 100. Al says Trump and Kamala are super stringent when it comes to black people making life very palatable for them. Yes, I mean, they do make it very hard for black people. And Dwight says blacks are only 20% of the overall electorate. She is going to win in South Carolina and backed by the Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Yeah, they're going to get the vote out.
Well, I hope we get the word out. I mean, I don't think she'll get on the become the Democrat nominee anyway.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, and we said it right here. I think she's going to get her head busted in the general, in the primaries. She's not going to make it out of the primaries.
Well, I don't think she will either.
Yeah, she's not going to make it out.
But, it's nice to know that she's able to be fluid and flexible. She can change her stance. Let's see if, she doesn't get the nomination, she goes back to, being friends with the police department again, And Dwight says 5 out of 8 NFL coaches were black fired from this past season NFL coach firings. Well,
welcome to the plantation.
Did they not think fat meat was greasy? What is it? How many? 27 teams?
28 teams.
28 teams or whatever. There's 8 firings. What percentage is that?
That's a little over 20%.
Or more, 25%.
Yeah. Something
like that.
Yeah, about that.
Well, it's not my shit. I don't know math, but that's a lot. So, they didn't think fat meat was greasy. They didn't think they were expendable. They up there, shucking and jiving and stuff. What they'll do to Colin Kaepernick, anybody else, they'll do to you, too. You ain't special. And I'm just saying, Arthur says, thank you about Trump. It's exactly as I said. I said it way back. If you guys remember, I said a danger will force us to wake up and hopefully eventually stick together.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
You did. Says, I remember.
Let's see. And so he says, oh, yeah. And about what I put in your inbox earlier is not much. It was some recording that came out recently. Supposedly one of the doctors at the hospital when MLK had been taken when he was shot, and apparently the bullet never killed him on the balcony. It was the doctor who cleared the room when he walked in and said, let that nigger die.
Yeah, I think I heard that conspiracy.
And he was suffocated with a pillow. Anyway, thank you again for all the work you two do every week. No, It's our pleasure. I did hear that. Mm-hmm. I guess his doctor wrote a book and detailed the fact that he was still alive, but they killed him in the hospital. Mm-hmm. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not unbelievable. I mean, why would he lie? So there's a whole lot of conspiracies surrounding, the death of MLK. And the White says, Asians are entrepreneurs. Blacks are stigmatized because of our color and segregation. Blacks mobilize over the struggle. Right. And so
we're consumers. We're not.
Yeah, but I really like that you said that because we do. Well, as I said last week, we are reactive. And the struggle is reactive. Mm-hmm. Anytime you're struggling, you're constantly reacting, trying to figure out how to get out of the struggle, opposed to saying, okay, we have all this money. Let's start doing something with it to help us as a collective. Because a lot of times I think in our community you have some black people who make a lot of money. Well, shoot, I'm okay. I ain't part of that.
I try to do the best I can.
I didn't want to mention your name, okay. But
I try to do the best I can.
But overall, we are a collective. And so, we are struggling instead of figuring out how not to struggle. It's not, to me, it's not hard, but when we are so conditioned to be self-destructive, that's the hard part. Mm-hmm. And then you also say, white governor with a sweet wife, that is contrast to Melania Trump. You said, also, I heard that awful story about MLK. We believe it. Yeah, I don't disbelieve it. Why would he lie? And Al says, a brother here in Houston sang to the police and agreed to wear a wire to bust some black people. He was promised special treatment, so they sent him to Sing Sing. You so silly. But yeah, so Kamala is not for us. And we need to spread the word. Listen, I got one question for you guys to ask people who say, well, why, you just a crab in a bucket. We need to vote for Kamala. Black people can't never stick together. And I'm like, why is it that we can stick together on some stuff we have no knowledge of?
R. Kelly.
But when somebody asks you to come to this meeting so we can see about buying up the block, I don't want to do that because it.
Exactly.
But when those people come to you, ask them this. Say, okay, great. We should vote for Kamala. Why? Tell me one thing, just one. One good thing Kamala has done that would make me change my mind. And I guarantee you're going to hear crickets and pin drops and all that stuff because they're not going to know. They're just going along with the talking points, and that's by design.
The Democrats are very famous for already picking our leaders. Like I said, Hillary was told when she was losing to Barack, you get on his thing, we'll let you be Secretary of State, pad your thing, and we're going to be behind you 100%. And sure enough, she was the nominee, had 532 delegates, super delegates, before she even had an opponent.
Well, that backfired, didn't it? Sure. All that cheating and stuff.
Sure did.
But yeah, just ask them. What has Kamala done to deserve your vote?
Your vote.
And like I said, there's a lot of propaganda always running around. Oh, she's this and she's that. And they said that she could be the first. She can't be the first president, female black president for candidate for presidency because that was Shirley Chisholm.
Right.
But they labeled it something. I don't know.
Since Shirley Chisholm.
I think because she was, it was something weird. Something they had to really reach and dig for to give validity to her being the first black somebody. Mm-hmm. So anyway, those talking points are designed for us to go along with it. You know why? My mom used to hate when I say this, God rest her soul, but she used to hate when I say, if you want to hide something from a black person, you put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
Oh, because she was a writer. And she, published several books. And so she said, that's not true. So I'm not saying all of us, Mom. But a lot of us, we just go along with it. We just believe it because somebody told us.
It's like being a bandwagon fan. You go with the, remember everybody was a Laker fan and, everything goes, and then now everybody's a Golden State fan and everybody was a Bulls fan.
And how about those Rams?
Right, now everybody's a Rams fan now. That's just our society. Right. We want to be winners.
Right.
But I'm telling you, if you vote for Kamala, you're going to be a loser.
You're voting, you might as well vote for Trump, honestly.
Right.
Because Kamala goes where the money is. She is, she's corporate. For lack of better words, she's where the money tells her what to do.
Pretty much. I mean, she's already been anointed.
And who's to say she didn't tell these police organizations, look, let's just play the game. Let's get me in there, and then
I'll take care of the rest.
Wham! All them Negroes gonna be on the plantation.
Well, again, it's like when I get people. I mean, I love Obama just like anybody else, but when I tell people, please tell me something that Obama did for black people specifically, and it's not the health care. Because that was for everybody. Specifically, what did he do for black people? Nothing.
Right.
We're always a non-factor.
Well, because we don't make it an issue.
And we don't hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Dwight says, you're right, Southside Chicago lost their black-owned banks from the 1940s.
Yep.
I mean, there's not a lot of black banks around. There's a handful of them, really. Compared to what it used to be.
Talk to Aunt Maxine, who was censured by the Congress for her husband and their banking situation.
Leave Maxine alone.
Sorry.
Okay. And Charles said the DNC rigged the primaries in 2016 for Hillary. The same superdelegate system is still in place.
It's still in place.
Especially with closed primaries and purging voters off who may vote for anyone. Let's see. Who may vote for anyone for a progressive. Progressive. So Kamala, with no substance or policies, has a chance. I think she will fall flat on her face as she continues to expose herself as another neoliberal.
I don't think she's a neoliberal.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think she's a neoconservative.
Oh yeah, her. Even when she was running for attorney general, he was more, and her opponent, who was a Republican, was more to the left than she was.
Right.
How does that happen? He was probably like, wait, I'm the Republican here. Right. You did a bait and switch on me.
Yes.
Right. And here we go. Al Jack's joke of the day. How do you turn back duck into R&B singer? Put it in the microwave, and it's Bill Withers. You mean a black duck? Your ass is stupid. And let's see. Hey, Daryl, what's happening? He says, speak. The White says Kamala is exotic. You know what? I'm so glad you brought that point up. It says Kamala is exotic, black, Asian, in California. White man with Cory Booker will be terrific. Well, that's the other thing I asked my friend. Not Donovan, my friend, but my other friend. Why are we voting for Kamala? I said, tell me the truth. I said, it's because she is exotic. She's, what people would say is beautiful. And, she's got the nice flowing hair. I mean, is it more of a cosmetic thing? Because I think a lot of people voted for Barack because he was good looking and all
the brother's
that.
smooth. The brother was smooth.
So are we casting a vote for Kamala because it's a cosmetic thing? Or is it because of her policies? She says, it's probably because it's cosmetics. You're being honest, but you need to change that. And then Alan says Sheila Jackson Lee, along with her outdated Princess Leia hairdo, is getting out of office. Yeah.
Yeah, she
got caught up with the Me Too stuff.
The Me Too.
Not her personally, but it was said that she fired a staff member
for reporting sexual harassment
through one of her, longtime staff members. So, not that that's funny, but it's like it's all fun and games. With the Me Too is hot and rolling off the stove. With men, but now it's starting to come back on some of these women, and yes, she's had to resign and step down rather
from committees.
Yeah, until they find out the truth. Which how do you do that? It's like if you fired the lady because she reported sexual abuse. I mean, you're a douchebag too, Sheila. If you did that, And the White says, for the people, listen. It said, for the people, quote unquote, listen. No one is going to do a thing for just black people. He said that is the state attorney general. Well, I mean, she used to be an attorney general for California, and she did everything the opposite for black people. So,
I mean, we had our prisons busting at the seams.
Yeah.
To where even the private prisons were busting at the seams. I
mean, I know people personally who were wrapped up into the prison system over nonsense. I'm not saying you steal something, you should get the sentence accordingly, but life?
Life.
25 to life?
or you got the video camera that actually shows the cop planting stuff on you, and she said, so what?
Right. I mean, I know a dude who was in a car with somebody who had a gun unregistered, and he went back to jail on a 3rd strike. Because he's just sitting in the car. Like, how do I know this dude? Like, I'm telling you, I didn't know the guy had a gun. It doesn't matter. You're a felon. And, you know, I'm sure he's probably on parole or something. And so he went back to jail for 25 life. Now, they have let a lot of those people out. But let's say they didn't change the law. I'd be sitting in prison for the rest of my life because somebody else had a gun in their car? Okay. Let's see. And then Dwight says she locked up the gangbangers and the crack traffickers. You know, I'm laughing because, let's say she did that. But how does your, what am I saying, the incarceration rate, I think that's what it is, go up from 52% to 74% in 3 years under your administration?
Exactly.
What's really going on? I mean, okay, yeah, gangbangers and crack traffickers are doing bad stuff, which it sounds like they are. Yeah, they should pay for what they're doing. But how do you let a dude off who affected 80,000 homeowners and illegally foreclosed on them? How do you let him go?
Yeah, how do you make it right for those people?
Yeah, is that not a crime to do that to people? So I get it. The banker and the gangbangers need to go hand in hand to prison. Everybody needs to go if that's what they're due. And
just think of all you people out there that suffered during the Wall Street crisis. Nobody was held accountable except low-level people.
Right. I mean, Dwight, do you think that it's fair that people who owed like 27 cents or whatever it is on their mortgage should have their house foreclosed on?
Taken from them.
Is that not a real crime to do to people? I mean, I'm just asking. And then Al says, with Obamacare, my elbow was bothering me. I asked the doctor if it was my funny bone. He didn't think it was humorous. Because that's your humorous bone. Ha. And Dwight says, 3 times and out of society, just bad. Well, and he said, have you heard about black girls hike? No, I have not. But strike me out for the 3rd time. If I am raping and, a sexual abuser, which is what the crime was written for in the first place. If I'm not mistaken, Polly Class, who was a girl that was missing, went missing up north in the area where Kamala was from before her time, obviously. She came up missing and was ultimately found raped and murdered. I think she was 14 years old by a man who was a repeat sex offender, and they kept letting him out. And so her father, along with her grandfather, imposed the 3 strikes law, and saying that 3 strikes and you're out. Because had the his name was Rich or somebody, had their daughter's killer been held to a standard like the 3 strikes law, he wouldn't have been out to kill her. And so they even said that's not what this law was intended for.
To be, right.
This law wasn't intended to send people to prison for life for stealing pizza.
Hey, I'm tough on crime.
I mean, but damn, you ain't got to be that tough.
Yeah, I'm tough on crime.
Soften up.
I'm locking their black asses
pizza.
up.
I mean, like, I'll keep bringing up pizza, you guys, but I'm dead serious. There's people who went to prison for stealing pizza.
In South Carolina, remember that story, that kid that stole the ice cream cone? They were lock his ass up.
Diapers, that kind of stuff. I'm going to prison for the rest of my life for that kind of stuff.
Right, survival item. It's different. Right. It's different if you're stealing a car and some HD TV. That's unnecessary. I'm talking about when you talk about
even that ain't warranted of life.
Yeah, it's not worth of life.
Right. And so Al says Kamala should tell the black community that success is not continuum. Complacency is the adversary, and contentment is the enemy. Yeah, all of that. And Charles says that is why I say whoever does the most for labor, the working class is who we support, and we are empowered, more organized, and build coalitions who will use their economic and political clout, to pass legislation that specifically helps our communities economically and socially. And Dwight says Al Jackson is great. Laws are horrible, and black professionals are not helping blacks. Judges, elected officials, public defenders, and justice is for those who can pay for it. Convict leasing? Yes. I mean, for those who don't know what convict leasing is, I mean, that's something that happened right after slavery, when slavery was abolished. kind of, sort of, besides the provision you said.
The Jim Crow laws.
Well, you know, except for during the commission of a crime or whatever. The convict leasing program was that if I deemed you to be looking at a white woman, or you were hanging out on the sidewalk too long, vagrancy laws and all those things, hey, I'll lock you up. Well, also, if you were a sharecropper and you couldn't pay that exorbitant amount of money I put on you, you're getting locked up.
Or, like the movie Sounder, the guy's out there, he's a sharecropper trying to feed his family. He's on somebody's property, kills the rooster, wherever it was. He's going to jail.
But under the convict leasing program, is so when you went to prison, businesses and corporations could rent humans out, black people.
At a discount.
Mostly black people. It wasn't all just black people. It was mostly black people at a deep discount. And they said sometimes the horrors that they experienced during the convict leasing program was worse than slavery. They said the life expectancy of those men in the, it was women too, but mostly men, and the convict leasing program was about 30, maybe 40 years old because they were worked to death.
Right.
Starved. Just you name it. The worst things happened to these people in the convict leasing program. And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have now. Maybe they're not getting, because these people will get outside of the prison and go work for the railroads and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. And they have companies like AT&T and IBM, all these. Yeah, they're all hiring this labor.
All complicit.
And so, are those people writing checks for Kamala?
You might want to look up.
They might be, you know. And so, good point. And let's see. And Al says, on a lighter note, did you know that the grocery stores will be selling Kit Kat ice cream drumsticks? No, I didn't know that. And Donovan's like, I'm glad I didn't know that.
No, I like Kit Kats and everything, but what I'm saying is they're just the health thing, just to kill the people off and keep us in bad health.
People don't care. You know, it's sad. I saw a study come out about some fried chicken was killing people. Like, did we need a study to tell us that?
I'm glad you got. I want to just. I just want to make a big announcement here in Riverside. Our Winco Deli is now back open. The best chicken in the world is now available, and you could return to your regular scheduled program. It's important because that screwed my life up. I'm serious. I have chicken every Tuesday.
After I said chicken was killing people. And Dwight says CBL Jr. is right. Okay. And then Daryl says the Democrats do nothing for blacks but expect us to continue to support them. Why is that? Because we do.
If you look at our video, if you go to the YouTube channel, when I put this up, or even though our last video, I put a caption up that says we keep voting Democrat and yet we're still poor. Think about it.
Yeah, we keep doing it. So that's why they're like, hey. And speaking of which, like Kamala, I'm sure it'll come a time where she talks about that bone she threw us. Hey, guys, I'm making anti-lynching laws happen.
Speaking of Kamala, could you kind of tell us how did she get her start?
I'm not going to do that.
No. She got her start with Willie Brown. We're not talking about the extramarital affairs and all that stuff that she's involved in. But what I'm saying is recently... who she dated, it's a fact, she dated Willie Brown.
Mayor Willie Brown out here.
And he was a very corrupted, he ran the Democratic Party from the 1970s.
Mayor Willie Brown was a pimp.
Yes.
Like almost literally a pimp.
Yes, he controlled the politics here in California, the Democratic Party. But he's recently come out with articles, because, that's going to come out in her background. So he's trying to, bring that narrative and say, yeah, I dated her and, whatever. So my question is this. This man is 30 years older than her. She wasn't a minor, so it's no big deal. To me, it's no big deal. Like I said, he's a G as far as I'm concerned because we met him. But you might want to think about that. Opportunity-wise, what depths will this woman go to ascend power?
That is a good question. I mean, but the other question I have, too, not that I'm excusing it, I mean, is it odd for women to use their feminine wiles to get what they need?
No, not really.
Right, so I mean, I don't think that's odd, but to your other point, you combine that with some of the other things that I just listed, it would be concerning to me. Like, is there not anything you won't do?
Right, and then I always look at a candidate, okay, she's this lady, she's exotic, whatever, she's married to a white man. Not saying every white person's a bad person, but that tells you a lot, too. Like, it makes me hesitant to support.
Well, a lot, and because I don't think we should get into identity politics as much. It is important, But a lot of people have made issue in that she doesn't have the black experience like we have the black experience.
Right, exactly.
Because her dad is Jamaican, like from Jamaica. Her mom is Indian. She was raised in Canada. Wasn't raised with her black father. I guess he left when she was 6. And so, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, she doesn't know being black like we know being black in America.
Her value system of black is totally different.
Which is probably why it was no biggie for her to harm black people. Maybe she just thought it was normal to harm black people legally.
Well, you know, you're a prosecutor and your job is to arrest and incarcerate minorities. I just think that, to me, that's a red flag.
Oh, absolutely. And let's see. And Al says, my nephew, my daddy has Jordan shoes. AJ, so what? My dad has an Adam's apple. Huh? What the heck is wrong with you? Corny. And Dwight says, Sounder was great. Sophia in The Color Purple played by R. Oprah.
Yeah,
R. Oprah. Well, yeah, Sounder was a good movie. I watch those movies. I don't like watching them as much now because they make me incredibly sad.
Yeah, I get really sad watching.
You know, because
but they're classic.
Yeah, they're classic, and that was people's reality. Hell, it's some people's reality. I saw a picture the other day of a lady sitting on a somewhere in Georgia. It's a black and white photo. She's sitting on a porch, a wooden porch, and it said that her windows were covered with they called it the funny papers.
Yeah, it's real like fly paper.
Yeah, so like newspaper, covered with newspaper, and they said, "Would you believe that this photo was taken in 1983?"
Wait, you want to see? You want to hear something, Steph? My grandfather still lives in the shack that my mom was raised in, and things. I mean, you don't have to go to 1983. I can take you down there right now.
Yeah, all right. But the point is, some people are still. I mean, I know it's like
he upgraded it. Don't get me wrong, people.
But that photo looked like it was in like 1889. Yeah. You know, but it's the point. The photo is that people are still living like that.
Yeah.
You know,
if you go down to the South, I mean, like I said, you know, no shade to my grandfather, but he's still living in the childhood home my mom was raised in.
And Al says, hey, Donovan, Dee told me to stop imitating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Dwight says, who cares? Fried chicken is great. You know what's
That's right. The best. For $3.48, you can get 4 pieces, fried or baked.
He said, I wish that I could eat every day, but it's so carcinogenic. You hear that?
Yes, I hear it.
It's cancerous. It will kill you.
Okay.
That's what I said. Do we need a study to tell us that fried chicken is going to kill you?
What about the baked chicken?
It's better.
Okay, but you can
still kill you. You're asking a vegan, so...
Okay, it can still kill you.
Listen, I like the taste of chicken, too, but even if I was eating meat, I would not be eating no fried chicken every day, or even... I would probably have it maybe once a week or every other week.
Okay.
You know, but...
Yeah, I have it once a week. That's all I have.
You would lie.
No, I have it once a week.
I smelled the chicken on your breath when I came up here.
I wish I had some chicken today. What I need is a steak.
All right. And then Romel says, prosecutor. What do you mean by prosecutor? What's happening to you? Dwight says, Democrats are not loyal because of the New Deal and the desegregation, military, civil rights movement, and LBJ. Well, yeah, I mean... and a lot of people don't understand. They think we became Democrats under Martin Luther King when he was around. We became that
FDR.
Because of the New Deal. FDR wasn't messing with black people either, but it was his wife was like, yo, we need to reach out to black people. And so when they under the New Deal, we were able to benefit from the social programs too. And so that's how we started to make the switch. Like, okay, because everybody was helping us starve. I mean, right after the Great Depression.
Yeah, those programs were not for us.
Yeah, so let's throw the black people a bone too, and that's kind of how we became that.
Yeah, and you got to remember that's when the news reels were coming out, and people were actually videotaping or videoing what was going on. It doesn't look good when you kind of say that you're the arsenal of democracy and you have this great system, and you've got a people within that system that you're just starving to death, and killing.
Starving. Yeah. Right. So that's how we ended up that way. It was like. And it was all by design. It was like, yeah, we'll give the black people a bone, and they'll come over to because they needed us. Because don't get it twisted. A lot of people think we couldn't vote. Yeah, we could vote per the 1800s.
You got to vote the right way.
Yeah, right after You got to jump over the hoop of fire, and then you got to go pet the dog 5 times, and if you pet the dog 6 times, you got to go all the way back, and then you got to drink some water while jumping. I mean, so it was just all this nonsense in order for us to vote. So we could vote, but it was just. We didn't have voters' rights.
Right, yeah, and you got to remember in the South, the Democrats were the ones that were controlling the votes down there. And there's a big misnomer saying, oh, like the Democrats were just hard on black people. No, they were hard on you if you were voting for that Republican. If you're coming in there saying, yes, Mazza, Mr. Jones, I'm coming to vote for Huey P. Long. They'll let you vote.
I mean, black people died because they went to cast a vote. And so that's where Martin Luther King came into play. He and the civil rights movements, rather, made it to where we had voters' rights and that we would not force intimidation, have to take all these tests and stuff.
Yeah, in the 1950s and 60s, they said that 60% of black people did not vote at all because of the intimidation factor.
Would you vote if you was going to die?
Right. So when the civil rights movement came in, their main job, especially in 1963, was to register people to vote.
Right.
You know, and that's what started a lot of the
But there were some people who was like, I ain't scared, I'm voting. So those are the people they were trying to impress upon. And then Dwight says, get over Willie Jacket, a hot mixed breed woman. I love it.
Oh, man, like I said, look, Willie is a G. I ain't got no shame.
He's like a bona fide pimp. Like, this dude had girlfriends while he was married, and everybody knew it.
And Kamala was one of them.
And she was one of them. Okay, now you happy? We got the
broke up his 30-something years marriage.
Hey, she got what she wanted.
Oh,
she could be your president because of that.
And what was that? Wait, and what was that she told Willie in the article?
Yeah, he said, I helped a lot of people get to where they needed to go, but none of them except for her reminded me that if I so much as jaywalked, she would make sure I was arrested.
So that must have been a bad breakup.
I mean, I don't know if that was true, but that was a quote from him. That's what he said. And so Dwight says, making out, not jacking. Who cares about a marriage and who? It is the policy. Well, I mean,
true, but it also.
Baby, are you married, Dwight?
Yeah, but you also got to look at the person's it's all encompassing. At least the way I can speak for myself. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
I look at how you deal with your home issues, and because how can you talk to me about morality and you're not moral yourself?
I mean, damn, Hillary wasn't getting her thing service under the desk. But when she was running, people brought it up about her husband and Monica Lewinsky. And it wasn't even her. Like, she was the victim.
Right. Yeah.
And then he says, Dwight, America are in denial of the black experience. That's why it is white liberals love Obama and Kamala. Well, yeah, because ultimately they're going to benefit from their presidency. It's not going to be us. It's going to be them.
Again, Obama's cabinet was full of Wall Street bankers.
Right.
That made sure they got their money.
And that's who benefited. Yeah, and so you also say, listen, all these issues are history. You are successful and great for the future. That is sad about your grandfather because of the housing is better. Well, his grandfather's there by choice.
Yeah, he's there by choice.
Yeah, I mean, he's a war veteran, and he has money. He just like, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Exactly. And it ain't, and it's been upgraded. Just that, the thing is,
he's like, this is all I know. How many kids was made in that house?
12 children.
12 kids.
Live birth.
Live births was made in that house, and so he's like,
life is good, and he's right by the train track. I mean, he's living good. I mean,
right. So yeah, he's there by choice.
And he's the last one of that neighborhood.
Plus, Donovan's a millionaire. He could just go buy his grandfather a new house over there.
Well, my grandfather's 96 years old or something like that.
Yeah,
he's up there, and the funny thing is, he doesn't have any friends. He's outlived all his friends. So he's chilling. He's chilling.
One thing I say about Donovan, too, is wherever he goes all over the world, he makes sure he sends his grandfather a postcard.
A postcard, a coffee mug, something.
And then, let me say, make sure. And then, Ali says, Kamala told me to tell your audience and the world if a person's birthday is in November, their mama got screwed for her tax money this year. Really? Stupid. Dwight says, baked chicken is boring. Bake it over green. See, now you're making me hungry. Green peppers, onions, and garlic. Is Donovan's weight over 200 pounds?
No, nowhere near. I'm
Eating
half of that.
Every week, a gym and workout. No,
I'm half of that.
You're a little bit more than half.
Yeah, I'm 160.
He's 160. He's tall, but he's slender. He eats fairly decent.
I'm all right.
I see him eat a salad like once a week.
I ate it before you came over. With some chicken.
Some chicken crackling.
Yeah, crackling.
Y'all says Winco. Now we being silly. Winco was the best. Speaking of chicken, hey Donovan, was the name of the chicken restaurant JJ worked at on Good Times?
Oh man.
Dame's answers Chicken Delight.
I can't remember, but I remember when that company went under, he went to the beef. He had the beef cow hat. He had changed. I can't remember.
Dwight. He says 1955 plus was the struggle. Civil rights movement is the history. Eyes on the prize. Yeah, I mean, civil rights movement is the history. Yeah, it's history. History.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to be funny, but what strides have we made since then? As a collective, black people, what have we done after that?
We're looping on that NyQuil.
We're on the NyQuil. Yeah, some of us are extra strength.
And the funny thing is that you say about that eye on the prize, that they're saying that that's a CIA
term
produced documentary, because they're saying that there's have you noticed you never see any documentary on the civil rights movement where the brutal stuff actually happened?
Right.
They never show that. And
right.
It's just funny how we see the eye on the prize and we think, oh yeah, look at all these things that we're doing.
Yeah, the glorious, the gloriousness of it.
All the strides we did. And we were just telling these white people what's up. And that wasn't the case at all.
And there it says, I only engage in political discussions with people who vote. Yeah, I mean, because you hear a lot of people say, well, I don't vote, but you're doing the most complaining, though.
Yes.
I mean, to me, voting is subjective. I think if we vote smartly, it matters.
Well, we know on a national level, your vote doesn't matter, because if it did, Bush wouldn't have been president.
But it would matter if black people got together and said, hey.
As a block.
You know, because Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that, and he says, like, if we're going to have, black people need to get together. You guys don't know who Dr. Claude Anderson is, please follow his stuff on YouTube. And you just Google it. He's an awesome,
he's in there. Yep.
Just awesome in regards to giving black people the blueprint. But he says we need to hold these politicians accountable contractually. All right? Us black people, as whatever our party is, the black party, we're going to send you to Washington or anywhere, this is what we're asking for.
There's an old saying by President Harry Truman. He says, if you go into public service and you become a millionaire, there's your crook.
Right. There you go. Right. Say no more.
There it is.
Right. So no, I agree. I mean, especially if you're going to complain and you don't vote, it's like, I really can't entertain you. And then Dwight says, no, I love marriage and it is personal. Some people are sleazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very. Yeah. Well, we see what we got right now.
Yeah, but you're talking about Trump. Don't talk about Trump like that. Mm-hmm. And then you also say, remember, 20% of the electorate. That's what we are. Yeah. But we waste it. We waste the vote by just going. We're like the zombies. Okay. Over here.
Well.
Okay. How about over here?
Well, how about this, where the black women are saying we make the difference, and that's probably true because a lot of us men are being incarcerated or killed. But they go with the soundbite. We're with Hillary. Look at how many black women went and gave their vote to Hillary. Regardless of the facts.
I'm sorry, Donovan and I.
Yes.
We had an opportunity to go to Sacramento with the NAACP. We're checking some things out. This was a couple of years back. They were lobbying the assemblymen and all this other stuff. And this is when Hillary and Trump were campaigning. And somebody said, well, we need to vote for Bernie. And they said, nah, we ain't voting for Bernie. We're with her. And we was like,
hey.
Somebody about to die up in here talking about they not with her.
Exactly. And then speaking of Bernie, they saying his indications is he will be declaring his run for the presidency probably this week.
Let's see if the people to get it right this time. Right. And then you say, I salute your grandfather. The White said, I salute your grandfather. You are blessed. He has you.
Oh,
absolutely. And then Al says, baby, your voice is the state of California's natural resource. I heard something else but my voice. Jokey joke. And Dwight says, he is great, keep eating fried chicken. No, he ain't going to keep eating fried chicken. Him or Al. They need to eat it like once a week. Al is, and I don't know who between the both of y'all who's the more of the fried chicken connoisseur. You or he might got you beat.
Yeah, he's down in Houston.
Yeah, because they got the fried chicken shack. The fried chicken shack part 2.
Mm-hmm. And then Al's a little taller than me, so he had that leanness as well, more so.
Yeah, don't get it twisted because you are slender that you are healthy and you just eat all the fried chicken you want. That's not how it works, okay? And let's see. Dwight, you also say, you all are a revelation of the success of the movement. Must continue to fight. Yeah, I mean, listen.
That's what we do.
I would never, ever begrudge the civil rights movement of what it is. You know what? Those people had heart to do what they did. All I'm saying is we dropped the ball. They took us to that point, and we have not done anything else with it since.
Well, that's because they won't let us. The baby boomers are the most selfish generation ever.
From our cold, dead hands.
Dead hands, will I leave this job? That's why us, their children, we can't find work, and because they hit that ladder and they pulled it up, and that's why they're raising our children.
Right.
Because we don't have the same opportunities that they've swiped up.
Right. And so Alice says, my cousin just posted in Facebook expecting twins, so I commented, finding 2 kids by the same man. She blocked me.
Yikes.
Dwight says Hillary Clinton is telling friends she is leaving 2020 door open for the run. Hillary is putting that out.
Yeah. She wants to be president.
Well, because now she's understood that she was duped to some degree, and everybody's if Hillary was wasn't cheating going on, she'd be our president and all of that.
But she got the Democratic nomination through cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just...
Well, a cheat don't want to be cheated. Okay,
right,
you can't cheat me.
Okay.
And then Alex says I missed one of your comments. Let's see, what did I miss?
Yeah. I can't wait till we move the show to Houston. I forgot to tell you, I'll be coming with Demetra down to Houston.
I didn't miss one of your comments. I got it. I read all of your comments. I'm looking. Nope, didn't miss not one of them. And hey, Zuni says she loves fried chicken. She has arrows going toward her. She loves fried chicken. I like it too. I just don't eat it. And the White says, look at Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. It does not work. White people make the winner. People are mad at Starbucks Howard Schultz for considering running as an independent. Didn't know that.
Wow, I'm going to have to do some research.
You're independent. Are you voting for him?
No, I'm not going to vote for him, but well, let me do my homework.
Do your homework.
Let me do my homework.
And the charges of California and their big prize of 55 electoral votes to the general election winner. It's effed up because that Pelosi, Walters, Feinstein, and Harris is from California. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like we know Pennsylvania and all those, Ohio, and then once they announce, they call it for a candidate. It's like, okay, wow. But California, since it's one of the last to report, is like, okay, now you really won, But I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah, it takes you over the hump completely.
Yeah, all those people are from California. Yeah, Waters, Feinstein, and Harris.
Every last one of them.
Every last one of them.
And we vote for them without looking at our neighborhood.
Okay, I was gonna say something. I don't want to be mean. Because I don't like to engage in ageism, but they're kind of up there.
They're up there. They're in this, like I said, baby boomers.
Yeah, they're up there. Except for Kamala, she's not up there, but...
Yeah, she's about 3 years older than me.
And Feinstein is how old? In her 80s?
Late 80s, yeah. She's in her late 80s. From my cold, dead hands will I give up this seat.
Like, don't you want to go on vacation, drink your fruity drink somewhere on the beach?
No.
She had to secure... suit on, your hat, sunscreen.
No, she had to secure that $3 billion tax-paid rail system that will never...
I want to get on it before I die.
Yes, it'll never be built.
The White says, we are not dropping the ball. All of those blacks got elected to Congress. I agree. Blacks should educate their own children. Africa and African American studies. What is this about Houston?
We're going to be moving the show to Houston because Al has insisting. Trying to, look, I want you guys to do this. Watch What's Love Got to Do at the end of the thing when Ike got beat up and he went to go see Tina at her show. That's me and Demetra. She thinks she's going to go get away. No. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. I come to see the show just like everybody else.
Right, yeah. Except you're trying to kill me. I don't want to die on the stage, okay? I'll be like, Tina, I'm walking out there, whether you like it or not, okay? So, yeah, Alex says about the Mexican girl, I swear I did not see it. Can you copy and paste it again? It says, ageism is honest. Move on. Yeah, and that's why I said I'm not trying to be mean and say, because people are a certain age that can't do things. But it's like, at some point in time, you got to move over and let some fresh ideas and some young blood and some people come in and say, hey, like, a lot of those people like Dianne Feinstein and all them, social media wasn't even a thing.
Right, but look at Dianne Feinstein. Look at her voting record. She's a Republican posing as a Democrat.
Right, but I'm saying they've just been in there so long. They can't pump new ideas in there. They're gonna always do.
You got to beat them over the head to change their stance. All of a sudden, Dianne Feinstein started supporting gay marriage within the last 4 years.
Yeah, she was against it.
Yeah, against it. I mean, it's just like pulling teeth.
Right.
To get them to change, their thing, and she does believe in calling people niggas, so. Just remember that.
And Barry says, I went to Lamert Park and heard Hillary speak. She had 4 of the slain men by police mothers. Wait, hold on.
The mothers of the movement?
Don't get Al started. I mean, not Al. Don't get Donovan started with the mothers of the movement. Please. Please don't get him started with the mothers. You said, I still can't forget her comment on young black men as super predators.
Super predator.
Please don't get this man started. Because he's like, how dare them?
That's why we got to do our homework.
Yeah.
Do our homework. One of the mothers put out a rap album.
Was it Trayvon?
Yeah, Trayvon
put out a rap album.
You know, it's just crazy the things that we it's.
Don't get me started. There's a whole other show, but yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, he's with you on that. I am too. It's like, because we're with her, we just get to negate that she did call black boys super predators and they need to be made to heal, and which she even apologized for.
And her husband mass incarcerated all those.
Yeah, the 3-strike law was under her husband's administration, to which, you know, Hillary was not like an injured spouse, as they, well, that's like a tax term, or a lame duck in the marriage. She was very instrumental in his...
as a first lady, she went around stomping and telling them, we're going to be tough on crime. We're going to put a stop to this.
So that was all done, you know, under her administration. And a lot of the things that were set in motion as far as the incarceration of black men, you know, and so now you have the mothers of the movement standing up there with her. We're with her. Why are you with her? Like, you're so, like, most of your kids are gone.
Because of her policy.
Yeah, her husband's policy. So why are you with her?
That's how misinformed we are about candidates that they tell us to vote for.
And like I see Roland Martin, he's, you know, I can't stand Negroes as always just against people. We need to give Kamala a chance. Like, why? Because we saw you Watusian shaking your booty with Hillary too.
Right, exactly.
You was with her too. It's like, but why are you? Roland Martin is deemed to be a very smart man. But he does a lot of shucking and break dancing. Like, come on, you, because he's good at putting people in check with their facts. It's like, well, how come you missed the facts about your girl Hillary, and now you're mad because people are taking Kamala to task, as we should be.
And he only brings certain people on his show that will not refute any information that goes against the narrative that he was given.
Well, I saw one show where he brought Tamika Mallory on there, the black woman of the women's movement, and she ate his lunch. She was scared. He was like, oh.
Yeah, commercial break.
Yeah, he was not going to go there with her, and she was eloquent in her response. You know, it was awesome. How much time we got? 5 minutes, okay? And so, let's see. You said we are not, the wife says, we are not watching that horrible movie. Great performance, but I love Tina. Talking about what's love got to do with it. Donovan always has it on for some reason when I come over here. Haven't figured out why, but I think I'm getting the picture.
Yeah, you know, you ain't leaving me.
Right. Especially that part when he shows up in the dressing room.
Right.
Yeah. Is that a coincidence? And then you also say that is not true. Dianne Feinstein was best friend with Harvey Milk.
Yes, a homosexual, which is fine. We're talking about black people.
Well, he's talking about in rebuttal to you saying that she was not for homosexual gay marriage up until a couple of years ago.
Right. No, but no, that is true. She was against gay marriage. I mean, they had to drag her to the left to go to that side. That's factual.
And for those of you guys who don't know, Harvey Milk was a politician in San Francisco that was gunned down.
Yeah.
Because he was homosexual, but he was, you know,
progressive. He was very progressive. Very progressive.
For those times, it's like
early 80s.
Yeah, it's going a little bit too progressive. And then Charles says Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
AOC
is the future. She is only 29 years old. Well, you know, we need to do our research about her as well.
Right.
She, you know, one thing I would say about her,
she challenges the establishment.
She does, but she is for her people. Who's her people?
The Puerto Rican Hispanic.
And isn't she bisexual too?
I believe she That's is. A plus.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
I mean, there's no way. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't a plus for me.
Yeah,
but
I don't worry about that. But I'm just saying she's very outspoken and I don't. Is there a voting age for the vice president by Constitution?
Voting age, or you mean to run?
To run as a vice president.
Isn't it 35 the same?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's the same thing.
You don't think so?
I'll look into it. But if they can get her on the ticket as a vice president, that would sway a lot of votes in the millennial.
Kamala and AOC.
Oh no, AOC will never.
I'm just kidding.
Will never get.
And Al says mothers on the movement. On today, me and my mom had another heated argument. Lord have mercy. Another heated argument, Mom. Al, why did the word bastard cross my mind? Me. Why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't it? Don't you think words like that cross my mind? Mom, yeah. But no matter where I ever said, whatever I said to you, you never called me a B. Me, I don't mean it never crossed my mind. I'm going to call your mom when I get off
Yes,
here, too.
yes.
And then Dwight says, I love Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's true beauty.
Yes, I mean, the girl, it's funny how that generation skipped over us completely. See what I'm saying? The baby boomers just dogged us.
Well, because we was too busy doing other stuff.
Well, they let us do other stuff, or we let them carry our load, right. Depending on what kind of parents you have.
Our generation is still in the club with our kids. Not me, but Donovan. I saw him, put on his rayon shirt.
Wait. But at the Metro Revival, who was on the dance floor most of the night?
Me. Hey.
Couldn't keep her to sit down.
I was there. I was on the floor all night long.
Yes, reliving those good old days.
Right. Woo. Some of that stuff I didn't relive, though. I got a man now. And then he says, forget it. I don't know how to copy and paste. Good Lord. You mad about that joke? I didn't see it. It didn't come my way. And Dwight says, Kamala Harris is off the hook. Just watch her. It is going to be Sherrod Brown and Cory Booker. Tamika Mallory is number one. Yes, I like Tamika.
I don't think Cory Booker is going to make it out of the primary.
I don't think so. Is he even running?
He's exploratory, but you got to remember Cory Booker voted down the pharmaceutical thing.
Make it cheaper.
Important.
The drugs cheaper for people.
Because he gets his money from the pharmaceutical
I'm not
company.
If I vote for drugs to be cheaper, imported cheaper, that means I vote for my bank account to get smaller.
Right, and your health.
Right, your health is not more important than my money.
Right, but people, Cory Booker, they don't know. Look at his record.
Find those things out about him. Why do you think Cory's probably using Kamala as a litmus test?
Yeah, litmus test. Yeah, I'm going to lay it up.
Let me see what they going to do to her. Because some things about me, I don't want people to know.
Exactly.
So how much time?
Got about a minute and a half.
All right. So for those of you guys on the podcast, we're going to get out of here. And I will see you. I will be here Super Bowl, y'all. I'm going to be here Super Bowl Sunday. I know a lot of you guys might not be, but I will be here. Even if it's one person in Donovan, we're going to be here. It's going to be slow, but we're going to be here. And then let's see. Al says, watch the movie White Boy Rick. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Dwight says, okay. And then Charles says, Ocasio-Cortez says she got 0 F's about what the corporate Democrat think about her. We all are people of color. You know what? We should pray protection over her. Because we know people like that come up missing or, God forbid, Harvey milked. Or or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
when you make too much of a wave.
Oh yeah,
Nancy Pelosi will put the team on you, put that sergeant arms on your ass.
She got too much to say. You don't need her being a messiah. And then so let's see. And then Dwight says homosexuality marriage is progressive policy. Jumped over reparations for blacks.
Yes.
No, she is not bisexual. The lady in Arizona with the win, John McCain, she was.
Yeah,
I know
that's right.
She is, but I thought she was as well.
Yeah, she used to be an Air Force pilot, I think.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, but I thought she was as well. I could be wrong. And then Dwight says, you all grew up with Barack and Michelle Obama, R. Kelly. You know what? And let's see. He's also say, Dwight says Cory Booker makes a good vice president. Somebody's put a laughing emoji on your thing.
Cory Booker, no.
And Charles says, great show, great evening. Thank you so much for being here. And Al says, my motto to family on their B-Day, forget the past, you can't change. If you forget the future, you can't predict it. And forget the present because I didn't get you one. You go have some chicken. How about that? So anyway, I don't see any more comments here. We are going to get out of here because y'all done talk about a whole lot of food and I'm starving. So I will see. I'm going to be here, you guys. Like I said, Super Bowl, I will be here. So if you guys want to talk about some things, please hit me up and we will talk about those. I will do the research. And as always, it is my pleasure. Thank you once again to Donovan. Thank you again to Marcus.
Yes.
And thank you to you guys for being here every Sunday and chopping it up. I hope that we've all learned something, especially in regards to Kamala not being really the good candidate for us. We can
our opinion.
Yeah, we can explore the people, but we've laid the facts out. These are not things we made up. I don't know Kamala, so I don't have anything against her. I just only can go off of what she's shown us.
Public record, right?
A public record. And so I hope that has been informational for you guys to make the right decision when the time comes, especially for the primaries, to make the right decision. And so also we need to start thinking about what we want in a candidate and who we can collectively get behind. And it's not going to always be easy to change the minds, especially people we know who are not as used to doing some research. but it's how we deliver the information to them. We know it's not going to get to them if we say you're stupid, you know, you're voting for the wrong people. We got to give them the information that they cannot dispute. And try to open their minds. And so that's how we make a change. And
it's funny how we can't find anybody that voted for Trump all of a sudden.
They're in hiding. They don't want to die if I'm holding people's checks hostage. And then Zuni says, yes, we should pray for Ocasio-Cortez. She speaks the truth power. Yeah, I always think about that when I think about her and people like her. Like, gosh, I really hope nothing happens to them. And then Daryl says, enjoyed the show, guys. And we enjoyed your company as well. The wife says, thank you. You are all the best. I learned so much, and we learned so much from you as well. So I don't see any more comments. I will see you guys next week. Please have a great rest of the Sunday and a great
do not
week.
Forget to check out the YouTube video where I'm going to be dropping a track from my man Alex.
Yes, we're going to. Donovan will do the YouTube video. I'll try to remember to post it so you guys can see it. All right, so we will see you guys later. Bye.
Hey. I'm Alice the Great. I'm over 9,000. Over 9,000. I'm over 9,000. Over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin'. You wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000. Over 9,000. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think no other artist better than me. Whoa, who gon' really get anything better than me? And I don't even care if you think it ain't true. My confidence so high, I swear it's bursting through the roof. Why should I care about what others have to say? Wait, I'm electrifying, so I feel like Sasuke. These rappers have forgotten the goal is to be legendary. Yet they talk about the guns, intimidation, trying to be scary, huh? It's the great. This wasn't a joke, but y'all don't get it. To the people who wanna be remembered, I am with it. My specialty is painting big pictures that are vivid. I don't rap about a false life, I spit it, how I live it. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin', you wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah, yeah. Your criticism, I am lyricism. I hope random people don't be like I was here with them. Nope. Out of here, because you weren't. Nope. My crew remains the same, and that's current. Yeah, I won't stand for nothing, so I sit like I'm Kaepernick, trying to change the whole game, but y'all don't get the half of it. Y'all about the zombie life, y'all lean and pop pills. I feel like Rick Grimes, add another to my kill. Put them in the freezer, I'm a super rap god. Feel like I'm the master of the, like I'm Farad. This the real stuff, and I'm not a fraud. Shout out to my, that's my name Assad. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin', you wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Leah, shout out to my Dex. We ate the main course like Nicolas Cage, we like what's next. I guess they dropped the ball, they can't handle us. We been building, they can't dismantle us. I guess that's scandalous, huh? Clifford Smith, man, y'all don't get the method. Words cut deep, man, that's my lethal weapon. I won't slow it down for a second. I just wanna be on top, be a legend. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. I'm over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah. They say you wildin', you wildin'. I'm over 9,000. Yeah. My power level is over 9,000, over 9,000. Yeah, yeah. ATG, Alice the Great. Good music.